Hello, welcome to Football United TV. We're back with a special man, Bills, Aston Villa, and we're here as well with the new guest, Lawrence Pollard, Liverpool fan.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for inviting me.
Bills, thank you for joining us too.
Boys.
Can you please tell us how you felt about the result yesterday? Aston Villa winning 5-1. Wow.
Yeah, so, obviously I feel great about that. It's just, I've been talking the whole season about how we've been putting performances in and not really getting the results, which is a cliche, for a fan of a team who isn't getting results to say. But I didn't see the game. I had to catch the highlights. I was actually watching QPR Blackburn Rovers with my brother, who's a diehard Rovers fan. Yeah, exactly. It was really good. Yeah, 6-goal thriller there as well. But we're here to talk about Villa and Norwich. And it was a great performance from Villa. It really was. Very sort of fluid, very organised, very confident away from home against a team that's been performing well. But sort of got to recognise the flaws that Norwich made as well. They weren't having their best day. And I think their bubble might have burst for the slightly longer term now, I'll be changing my fantasy team a little bit after that. Yeah.
I was really surprised that Pookie didn't get on the score sheet. The way that Norwich played against Man City and beating them and then losing to Burnley, though, do you think that's the downhill for Norwich? And do you think it's an uphill?
Oh, Newcastle to score.
All right. Go.
1-0 up against Man United, by the way. This is live.
Yeah, so we've got a live update. How are you feeling about that score, Matt?
Not very good, really, obviously.
They were knocking it around, waiting for the opportunity to strike on goal, and they eventually got the best opportunity and put it away.
The Newcastle playing possession game here.
Well, they just had total control in their attack just then. They completely, Man U were just stepping off back, gave them all the time in the world to have a go.
Wow, okay. I'm missing this one, but all right.
How did you feel? Yeah, so what did you think about the other results today? Arsenal as well.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
Chelsea.
Arsenal got a pretty textbook win, but I guess that is what they call a banana skin game. That would be a disrespect to Bournemouth, actually. They're a strong Premier League team, but they did the job. They're keeping that clean sheet, which I guess has been a big problem for them so far. City lost against Wolves at home. 2-0. They now look completely fallible, Of course, they're still one of the strongest teams in the world, etc., etc. Everyone has had four. But what do you think about this, Pollard? Come on, you're Liverpool. What's
It's the truth. Each week seems to be going in Liverpool's favour, and even the great last-minute goals of other Premier League seasons, like last afternoon, it seems to be going Liverpool's way, because a last minute, if it's the 95th minute and you're really expecting to draw at that point and going for it, but they pick up 3 points anyway. Mm-hmm. And then you don't even expect the next day for your main rivals to lose. I was expecting a 5-2 or something, Man City.
Yeah.
Expecting something like them to carry on the way they do every week and put in a performance.
They're such a strong team, and they've been so dominant. I mean, everything.
Yeah, it's been coming a long time. It's a long process, and then at the top at the moment, their performances. I'd say the best performance Liverpool have had this season is against Arsenal. And still, Arsenal could have scored a couple of goals.
Yeah.
3-1 away.
I mean, they say it's that cliche about what the mark of a true champion is, being able to get those sort of scrappy victories, even if you have a much better team, but you're having a bad day, and you can, like the old Ferguson teams, that was a big aspect of it,
Do you think Aston Villa might have to do that as well to get some scrappy results?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got to take everything we can get. We can't get too carried away with this. Like, the first 2 goals we scored yesterday, it was calm and composed, and we had a great cross on the turn about really looking from El Ghazi, and something similar on the finish from Wesley. But on both goals, whether it was the scorer, Wesley on the first goal, or the assist maker, Horahan on the second, you had 4 players. I think they were the defensive line in both cases, but either way, 4 players surrounding the guy involved at that moment, just not really paying attention, unfocused, and not reacting quickly enough when they did realise what was going on. So I've got to see this. It wasn't really a clear 5 goals it's a 4-goal win in the end, of course, you know, but like in that sense, taking that forward, we've got to remember where we are and what we need to do, you know, stay realistic and do things the right way. Do things like we did yesterday, to be honest. I can't believe
it. Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Do you see the wonder goals? There were 2 wonder goals, one from Mr. Hourihan and one from this Douglas Luiz lad.
The young guy. Yeah.
The guy we got from City. He can really hit one. But yeah, so finished off with 2 wonder goals and then conceding. Okay.
Try again.
Well, it looks like Newcastle are smashing Man United anyway. It's 1-0 at the moment.
Oh, it's 1. Okay.
So this is a live vlog of the game. It'll go up a lot after the result. Of course, it could change.
Bit of reactions from
now.
here.
Sorry.
All right. So what about the results? I mean, the big one to talk about, other than Villa, I guess, well, and City, you've got to look at Spurs. I know they were away to a Brighton team that's, you know, playing pretty well under the new manager, give or take.
We talked about them having a really bad time on form, and then they lose 3-0 against Brighton. I mean, how do they recover from this?
Something's really wrong there. I don't know. Stick or twist from the chairman, maybe. I just can't imagine them firing Poch, and I think it would be a dreadful, dreadful idea to do that. You know, he everything he's done for the team, he could have a whole bad season and should still really keep his job. You know, in my humble opinion. But the players are going to start leaving. That's the thing. When the players start to go, the team unravels. The manager loses maybe faith in his own project or listens a little more closely to the bigger teams. And Spurs are a very big team, but there are bigger teams that could come calling, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about Liverpool's yesterday?
You know about Pollard? What do you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
Please do speak up for the camera.
Yesterday, I missed it on Match of the Day. I got there too late, so I didn't actually see it until much later. I only saw the highlights.
But what did you think when you saw it?
Well,
Yeah.
I saw the result. I was watching live text on my phone. So I thought 1-0 up, early doors in the game. That's perfect. I mean, Mane has been the top player this season so far, top scorer.
It was a good goal as well, actually. I saw it.
Yeah, it's a quite a perfect goal. The beautiful pass from Milner.
Yeah.
Great, beautiful pass. That was like a perfect sort of quick sort of counter-attacking goal. So you can't ask more than that. And then I don't know the details of the game, but they kept in the game Leicester by scoring the goal with Maddison.
Yeah.
He equalised. And I've only seen Mane's.
He didn't see any of it.
Mane winning a penalty. So Mane winning a penalty, and that's all I've seen of it.
That's Liverpool fans all over, isn't it? And
But,
check the highlights that you want to highlight.
Well, it's 3:00 kickoff. You shouldn't be watching that. It's not that. You shouldn't be watching that. What, are you saying you're going to watch it illegally? I wouldn't want to watch Man U illegally. Cause,
I was watching it at a legal place, by the way.
Where? Online?
No, ESPN.
So good.
Get it.
So, all right. What have we learned from this weekend then, from our watching of highlights and all that?
Well, I watched most of the games, as you know, and Liverpool look like they're cruising, mate. They're not going to stop going the way they're going. They're beating the teams that they should be beating. They're scraping through the results, which is what a title-winning team will do. Liverpool definitely, at this moment in time, deserve the Premier League. They've never won it before, of course. I'm a Man United fan. That's really gutting for me. But I'm very happy to tell the truth and say that Liverpool probably do deserve it this year after winning Champions League last season.
Yeah. I agree.
What do you think, Bill?
It's too early. I think it's too early.
Exactly. That is one thing. Any team is, we've seen City losing these games to teams they should, in theory, be beaten quite easily. Teams that are out of form as well, But the same could happen to Liverpool. It's not like one of Klopp's Liverpool teams hasn't had a dip in form. And a dip in form can cost you those games where points, and then it's back on. But honestly, he's just worked such a great team together. I think the consistency is possible. Of course, they only lost that one game last season. They managed to keep that kind of form up.
Yeah.
It's easy,
Liverpool haven't reached their peak form yet. You've only seen glimpses of it. When
Really?
they start playing fast football, and there's only glimpses like.
If Man U can get a glimpse of anything, that would be great, really, wouldn't
Well,
it?
they've got a free kick now.
We are, at this moment in time, we're a point above Newcastle.
Yeah, if they're beating you, okay, yeah, makes sense.
So that's really not good
And
for Man
Newcastle
United.
have been calling for Steve Bruce to be sacked as well already.
And replace him with who? Mourinho?
For Benitez.
I don't think they should. I think they should keep him.
You got to stick out with him. He's a decent enough manager. It's just following Benitez. If you're not an absolute world-class manager in terms of reputation, it's poison chalice.
Where do we think Aston Villa are going to finish then this season now that things are a little bit different? You said originally 14th, 15th, I think.
Well, originally I said we were relegated. Then I changed my mind a little bit. Now, I'm going to stick around the same kind. I'll say 15th is a good shout. We could so easily go down though. Still, this doesn't. One very good result doesn't mean we're shoo-ins to, to achieve that goal. But we're looking good. Again, could we pick 3 or 4 teams worse than Villa right now? I think so. Yeah. I'm not going to name names because things are changing quite rapidly. But to be honest, I wouldn't mind Newcastle losing this one in all truth. But I think we've got a strong chance. It depends. Like the thing is, the team's now clicking. We were playing well. We weren't really getting the goals. We were getting the goals, then we were throwing away leads. Now we've actually managed to. If we can continue to maintain the progress, or at least sort of maintain how we're doing right now, then we'd have a great shout at it. It just depends. The bottle, the mentality. Still got a new group of players working together there. Very, very unpredictable. But hey, whatever. We'll say yes. 15.
What about Liverpool? Where do you think Liverpool are going to finish, Pollard?
I'm going to say Liverpool are going to be champions this season.
I'm with you, Pollard, 100%.
It's not like in the bag yet. They've just last season they only lost once to Man City, and this season unbeaten.
Chelsea.
Only lost once to Man City.
And Chelsea. Chelsea beat Liverpool, didn't they?
At Anfield, yes, and it was in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, that's it.
No,
that's the last time.
Talking about the Premier League.
No, yes, but I'm just saying that's the last time you've been beaten at your home ground. That's
Anfield,
the last time.
Yeah.
So you haven't, apart from Man City, you haven't lost in the Premier League.
I mean, it's very early days. Anything could happen, but I'd probably said it before the season started. Anyway, City want to focus on Europe, etc.
Because each season Klopp's been there, they've got more points and progressed every season.
Yeah.
So you think they can even go above 100 points this season if it's like that. But if who knows though? So you can still have one bad loss, like a freak result, and it could just like.
What about Basel? Basel?
Belief or something. If it's coming towards anything can happen. Still.
Who is that? Who is it that scored 3 midweek?
Conclusion at all.
Who are the guys that scored 3 against you in the Champions League? I'm trying to remember. That was at Anfield. You beat him in the end. Who was it?
That's Salzburg on Wednesday. Yeah.
And they do look quite good, to be fair, Salzburg. But that must be a bit of a shot.
Liverpool were 3-0 up, and I think they just must have taken their foot off the gas. And
They won around 6-1, 6-2. It was RB Salzburg the game beforehand.
Yeah.
Champions League.
They've got some good players who can finish, but I think it was just mistakes from Liverpool that let them get there. But then Liverpool still managed to get the win that they needed. When Liverpool seem to need to win, they can do it.
Yeah, I get that.
And, like the first game they lost in the Champions League, not a game you need to win. Like when they're under the pressure and they have to win, they seem to be able to do it as a team, as a squad. They seem to be able to push every game over the line, even this last game, which is probably the most close.
How do you feel about it, Bills?
About what? About Liverpool?
Yeah.
Well, my question is actually going to be, if you win the Premier League, do you think Klopp's going to stay? I think he'll probably go if he wins the Prem.
I think he'll stay. I think
Yeah.
he'll stay. I think he's got other plans. I don't think he's going to stay there forever. One of the big managers like Ferguson or Wenger. He's not going to stay there 20 years, but I think he'll stay. Definitely. Like maybe, he's at least there till 2022 or something, and then maybe another contract after. But he's not going to stay unless he wins. And if he doesn't win, then I think it's just as likely he'll stay, win or lose the Premier League.
That's interesting.
His club. It's his club at the moment. He's a hero. He's a hero there already.
But that's the thing. He could leave a hero and go work on something else.
His contract open. He's keeping his contract open for beyond 2022.
Maybe you'll go to United when you get rid of Solskjaer. Sorry.
We're losing 1-0, Bill. So I was talking to an unofficial pundit the other day, and I'm really backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I am. When I asked him this question, I think there's someone to blame. Whether it's the board, background staff, the coaches.
I think it's the players.
Something's wrong, isn't it?
The attitude of the players, I mean, I'm not saying this is all the players in the team, but come on. If you're getting these kind of dirty results, or in some cases, kind of shocking results, away to Newcastle, fine. You are away from home, but you got to be aiming a bit higher, surely. Can he keep his job after this? How long will it take for him to lose his job, do you think?
If he loses this game and it's on the 88th minute, I think he could be looking at the door.
The Solskjaer door.
I think so. I don't necessarily want that to happen, but I think that's what's going to happen. That's reality, isn't it? That's the way that football is at the moment.
You could get Zinedine Zidane and Pochettino could go there and make it all move around a little bit. Oh dear.
Solskjaer.
We'll just go for Jurgen Klopp. We'll get him.
Zinedine Zidane and Man U. I think he's quite good.
Not doing well in the Champions League, though, are they?
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
That's the one they love to win.
Well, they've got enough recent history in that. Barcelona dominated for so long, and they've been doing really poorly, and by their standards in La Liga, So I don't know. People's priorities shift. It's back to City and Liverpool. City want the European trophy. Liverpool want the domestic. It all makes sense. We're going to see similar things in Spain too. I'd just like to see Madrid fail. Sorry to any Madrid fans, but I just don't like your team as an institution. It's just the thing. Oh well. Yeah. Be interesting.
Built up their money from winning many league titles. They haven't just been
never won a Premier League, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's still the top division they've won. It's the top division. Just because it changed names doesn't stop it being the same thing.
Yeah, but you're hungry to win it, though, aren't you?
It's the same thing. It's exactly the same thing. Just because they.
And yet, Man United are the only team.
Let's
get this
Sky
right.
Sports, what you like.
Man United are the only team in English football to win every single competition that's been put out there. Liverpool will never get that. But you never won.
You've never called Red Bull next year, and then you haven't won that one.
That's not even about it. No, it does.
It's sponsorship and it's money. So I think
sponsorship.
The top division is the top division. League titles. The same.
Liverpool fans want to win the Premier League. Why do they want to win the Premier League, Bills? Because it's a new competition, it's a new name, and they've never won it before, and they want to be the ones that win it. That's surely what it is.
It's exactly the same. I don't think it's different.
It's an interesting question. I mean, I don't know. The top league, what you see the Premier League is it's like marking out an era. I don't think it's a new competition personally, but you're marking out an era because we like to talk about like the best strikers of the Premier League era when you say Shearer, Henri, Cantona, whatever, The competition's effectively the same, but it was kind of the beginning of money coming into the league, That's when the big money started to hit. People could start buying foreign players. Right. The Italian league.
Yeah, but...
So the league did change in sense of like the culture of it, how it operated, I suppose, how the transfers worked out and scouting. But at the end of the day, it's top league.
I agree with you, Bills, but I think Liverpool really see it the other way around. They really want to win this new thing that it is. They haven't won a Premier League. Now, I'm not. I'm with Liverpool. They've done as
And the
fantastic as.
European Cup.
Let
when
me
it went to
finish. Hang on.
Champions League.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Hang on a second.
We're gonna
here.
get
Let
you
me
in a minute.
finish. Hang
Get
on
you
a
in
second.
minute.
Man United have won 20. Liverpool won 18, but they haven't won the new one. Now, I'm not bothered with that. They all matter together. They all collide together. 18, 20. Doesn't matter how many 13 league titles that Man United won in the Premier status. But Liverpool, I know full well, want to win what it's now called. And
So you've got a lot of catching up to do on a competition you can't win because it's called the fucking Premier League now. And also, the Champions League used to be called the
Is this
European
right?
Champions Cup. So who's won the most Champions Cups? It's
And the Europa League.
Champions League now. It's the same competition. It's just because it changes its name and changes the way it operates doesn't mean it's not stops being just as the
Guys.
high.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is Liverpool see it as they want to win this new thing.
I
So
don't
it's
know.
not
You can't
me.
speak for every
I'm
club.
speaking for Liverpool that
not
want to
speaking
win the
for club.
league.
I support Liverpool, but I'm not going to speak for the club. I'm not. I'm just a fan.
I'm
not
speaking for the club.
You speak for the Liverpool Football Club.
No, I'll speak for what they are saying, and that's exactly what they're saying. They want to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
They have won the old First
Every
Division.
team wants to
Yes.
win the league that they're in when they start the season. It's just.
There's only 6 teams that have won the Premier League.
Yeah, every team sets out like most they want to win it, but like.
So you're telling me Liverpool don't want to be?
Okay. Starting this season, they say they want to win the Premier League. They do, obviously.
They've
They
never won
want
the.
to win the
They
Premier
haven't
League.
won their first
They
division
want
in a
to
long.
win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it matters more to Liverpool because of the fact that when it started over, when Liverpool were winning, when it was the First Division in 1990.
It matters because they haven't won it in a long time, I think. It doesn't
That
matter.
no, yeah, I agree.
The,
I'm with
name
you.
of the competition.
But I know Liverpool Football Club want to get this on their sheet, whether it's changed the name or not. They still want to say they've won.
Of course they do.
Since
They're
Man
a big
United started
club.
dominating the
They're a big
Premier
club.
League.
They're a big
They are a
club.
big club. They're massive. They've literally won 6 Champions Leagues. You know, like, come on, like, amazing. Man U only won 3, yeah, and 2 of them were of the new Champions League, and yours not quite so much. But yeah, like, I mean, how can you go against that? I think Liverpool want to win the Premier League as the name it is. I know it's similar to the First Division. I know it
It
is.
is a different trophy, but
But it's something else. It still comes up on your sheet of what you've won. It comes up differently.
Well, it's, again, it's marking an era, isn't it? Because you're looking at eras of dominance between big teams too, Liverpool had their big period, United had their big period, City is stepping into theirs. Even if City don't play this year, they're in their period,
It's all over, Bills. Newcastle won 1-0.
Is it 1-0? Oof. I think Ollie's got to go. I really think so. He's just such a likeable guy, but I think he's got to go.
I don't want him to go, but yeah, it's difficult.
Do you know how perfect weekends go? This is one. This is one of the ones of the season. Perfect weekend.
Can I use my fist? That
I've
punches?
got to say, like, I'd rather Man U lose.
Well, I wouldn't be a Liverpool fan if you didn't say that, would it? Because
I'd rather Man City lose as well. And I'd rather Tottenham lose and,
they have lost.
Chelsea.
Bills,
lose
please
as well.
continue.
I know this is brilliant. Like, I really enjoyed this. With the rivalries, like, the only big rivals Villa have got in the Prem are Wolves, and they are probably going to
argument.
but they are. We've only got Wolves as our Midlands rivals in the Prem. So even when we do have the rivalries, they're the only thing that really affects me because I'm not from Birmingham or Aston or anything like that, So I don't have that sort of personal attachment in terms of the city goes. But it's the effect on the team. Well, it's, if we lose to one of our heated rivals, then it's a hit on the team. I'm
not as passionate as some of the hooligans I've met at work, for instance. Like some of the Tottenham fans, especially. They're just fucking hooligans. Like, how can you? They just fight for their everything is like hate of other people and other clubs, but
I think you
I
get
hate
that.
other clubs. I just like.
I think every team's got some of that.
I'd like to see the football.
Well, Bills, thank you very much for joining us today, and Pollard as well.
Thanks.
Absolute arsehole.
Well,
For supporting Liverpool. No, you're not. I'm just.
The clock's ticking down and it's getting more angry as the clock ticks down.
Absolutely. I don't get angry too much about results, but well done to Aston Villa Bills 5-1.
Thank you very much.
And the game yesterday you watched, that was really cool too. You've done well this weekend.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been a good weekend football-wise for me anyway. Commiserations on the result. I'm sure United will find the right solution at some point. It takes time. Happened to Villa.
It is.
Just 2 weeks till you play Liverpool. 2 weeks till Liverpool.
2 weeks we play Liverpool. Bloody hell. Can I do a vlog with him?
Please. Let me present
Okay. I wasn't expecting, to be honest, so next time I'll be more prepared.
He is my mate, by the way. We hate each
I'll
other's
be more
teams.
prepared. I'll come with
Fire.
Fire, an opinion.
Yeah.
I don't have anything at the moment. I just the facts. The facts.
Well, Bills, say goodbye.
Gentlemen, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
And please do subscribe, like, share, do what you can. And thanks to everybody that's come on today. And thanks to Newcastle for making my night a misery. But yeah, no, that's football. And that's the enjoyment of it, isn't it? The fact that we can watch games that are like this. This is the Premier League. This is what you expect. Not always specifically what you think is going to happen. And glad to have you guys on to talk about this as well.
Pleasure. That was a lot of fun, gentlemen. I enjoyed that.
Take care and goodbye. Have a good
All the
summer.
best, Jeff. See you later. Bye.
Bye.